The desire to fit in, the fear of being disliked, and the struggle to meet society's standards have led me to a constant battle with myself. I found myself caught up in self-doubt and insecurity. The more I care about what others might think of me, the smaller I became. It felt like something was holding me back from becoming a better person. So I started to wonder, why am I living through the eyes of others? And why do we care so much? The fear of others' opinions is part of the human instinct to survive, a way to protect us from danger. But now, it has become a hindrance for many. We are afraid to be ourselves and worry about not fitting into society's standards, constantly seeking approval and validation from others as a way to prove our self-worth. We forget that we are born uniquely, with different backgrounds, habits, environments, and even the time we were born are different. Why don't we deserve to grow in our own ways, at our own pace? Here I'm going to share 3 mindsets that help me turn my worries into confidence whenever I start to worry about what others think. Try to fast forward your life 10 or 20 years into the future. Would you still care about what others think of you the same way you do now? Or imagine fast forwarding 100 years, when most of us will no longer be here. Would you still care about what others think? Most of us would probably agree that our current worries seem insignificant when we allow time to put them in perspective. Or imagine traveling out into space, sitting in a spaceship as you drift further and further away from Earth. As you travel into the vastness of space, Earth becomes smaller and smaller, almost insignificant. Now, when you look back at your life on Earth, would you still feel the same? When we broaden our perspective and compare ourselves to the infinite universe, all our worries seem to fade away. Sometimes we just need to allow time and space to distance us from the worries we see on the surface, so we can awaken to what truly matters in life. If you're afraid of what people think of you in a negative way, gently tell yourself this: nobody cares. In fact, nobody cares as much as we think they do. Seeing this helps us detach from others' opinions. This is what helped me start showing my face on screen and document my life the way I wanted, without worrying about how others would perceive me. Our minds create many storylines, and most of them are imaginary worst-case scenarios by the habitual mind. No matter how great our idea is, there's always that little voice inside telling us otherwise, draining our positive energy. In reality, people are busy with their own lives. They don't care as much as we think they do. When we focus too much on others' opinions, we magnify our own storyline, projecting it onto a screen as if others are watching too. But they aren't. Everything is always moving forward, and the people we are worried about have likely moved on, while we remain stuck at the scene. Everyone is the main character in their own life. Don't forget, they are watching their own story too. Gently telling yourself, nobody cares, can help you instantly detach from the unnecessary thoughts holding you back from becoming who you want to be. Having a personal philosophy can help us focus on our individual growth. It can be a word, a phrase, or a quote, something that reminds us to focus on our talents, beliefs, and values, rather than seeking approval or validation from others. When we are clear about what we want in life and live with a purpose, others' opinions no longer matter. After all, nobody knows what we are going through inside. We need to accept that there will always be differing opinions, but what matters most is that we understand what we are going through, and that is enough. One of my personal life philosophies is a Chinese phrase called 自知冷暖, which means only the person who drinks a cup of water know whether it is cold or warm. In other words, we know ourselves the best. When we are sick, only we know how uncomfortable it is. When we are struggling inside, only we know how hard it is to overcome. Nobody can feel for us. This philosophy reminds me to be more gentle with myself and trust that if I know myself, that is enough. I don't need validation from anyone else. When you start believing in yourself, confidence will follow right after.